Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the weekly chat session. We're gonna wait see how many people want to come on before we get going. In fact, I'll share it to my Twitter feed so y'all come, guys. A lot of things in the news. We'll wait a few, see if we get a few people to come in, um, and then we'll get this thing started. Um, for those of you on Twitter, please join me over on. Please come on here. Just click on the link that I posted on Twitter just now, and we will get you in. So we're gonna wait a few more moments and then wait a couple minutes and then we'll get started. Oh, we got one guy in. But by the way, when you come on, I will make sure you we will make sure you're on. Just remember to say hello to let me know you're here, and we'll get started. Um, how's everybody doing this evening? If everybody's doing okay, again say hello. Um, so if I'll wait about another 30 seconds to a minute. And hey, Tropic, thank you for coming on, man. Thank you for coming on. Go Canes indeed. Um, so whenever you're ready, we're gonna get started. The chat. We're gonna go up to about 9 o'clock Eastern time with this, so it's gonna be very short, about 30 minutes. If you have a question in the live chat, please type it in, and I'll answer it as best I can. So we'll get started. Little bit of news today. Um, Two Canes in the portal. Ja'Kai Clark, which I was a little surprised at. I thought he would be a little more willing to compete with Matt Lee for that starting center job, but just to see maybe the mentality. I think when you saw his tweets once we got Lee, you kind of got the sense the writing was on the wall. He was going to be gone. I was hoping he'd stay. I mean, he had the experience, but when you get a guy like Matt Lee, Bryce, I'm doing good, man. Good, thanks for asking. To get Matt Lee here at center, it's a big upgrade for us. I think Ja'Kai saw the writing on the wall. No question about that. Now, as for Jake, I was a little surprised with Jake. I think when Frank Ponce left yesterday, now on Cormani, no new updates on Cormani as of tonight. So nothing on Cormani McLean. That's the 5-star from Lakeland. Most likely going to Colorado. Gabby had a flip on him a few days ago, had a crystal ball on him. Yes, I like Cohen. Javion Cohen is the transfer from Alabama. Um, that's a big upgrade for us on the line. But back to Jake Garcia. Jake Garcia, I was a little surprised about that. I was a little surprised that he would go in the portal, but when we got a kid like Emory Williams, Ja'Cory Brown, who we're very high on, hopefully a healthy TVD can really bolster that room, which because it's needed badly, without question. And I feel we had to do that. Who's wide receiver number one? That's an interesting question. I think that's something that's going to be settled in camp, in spring camp, and in fall camp. So I want to see come spring. I want to see who starts to step up as our number one receiver. Bryce, I think Jake's going to end up going to App State. I mean, to join Frank Ponce there. Kid's got tremendous potential. I mean, he's got a rifle of an arm, and gotta tell you, I think the kid you put in the right system, he can really flourish. I think if he goes to Boone, I think he can flourish very nicely there. I really do. I mean, not a lot of pressure. I mean, Jake could easily be the best quarterback in that conference if he goes there. But again, we'll have to see where he goes. Now, Chakai's a little interesting. Like I said, competition. I gotta see who picks him up. But the experience he has is very, very important, and I feel getting Ja'Kai Clark, whoever gets Ja'Kai Clark's going to get a pretty decent player. I could tell you that. Captain, last night, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers was just terrible. I saw the game start to finish, as well as watching the Syracuse Miami game. Just couldn't get it done. No, I think we're going to do very well next year. I think we're going to do very well next year. I think we're going to win maybe 8, 9 games. Now, I don't think it's terrible. I think we're fine. We're fine. Mario will do his thing. I think we're going to be okay. I'm not even worried about it. I am not joining that staff anytime soon. Not a chance in hell I'm doing that. But again, the way we played last night against Dallas, I mean, Dallas deserved to win. I mean, they flat out beat our ass in every which way. I mean, no excuses. Dallas was the better team last night. I think we got a quarterback. We're fine at quarterback. Who do I think ends up being the starter day one? My guess is Tyler Van Dyke. We have a good defense. I think we're going to be okay there now. It's the offensive coordinator. Maybe people brought up Scott Frost earlier. I saw the tweet earlier today regarding him maybe being the new offensive coordinator here. That's interesting. Just something to watch there. I don't know. Maybe he goes that way. Maybe he does. Maybe Mario goes that way. Maybe Mario doesn't. It would be interesting to say the least if we got Scott Frost here as offensive coordinator. Oh, we'll win 6 games. You can Venmo that 100 right now. Not only will we win 6 games, we'll win 8 or 9. 8 or 9 games next year. There's an excellent shot we win 8 or 9 games. You want to put the 100 on the line, Michael? Go ahead. Man up. Man up. Man up. Put the 100. Put your money where your mouth is, Mike. I like. We have to. We'll see. We'll see. Come springtime, we have the we have an offensive line, a very good one, a very good one. It's being upgraded exponentially on the offensive line. So I think the offensive line will be fine. We got some studs there now. I'm not going to go 12-0 or 11-1 again. I'm going to say 8. I think we have a very good D line. We're very good on the defensive line. I think we're very good there. We've upgraded there. Linebackers, I think we've gotten better there. We'll have to see what happens there. I want to see how spring ball plays out first also. The schedule for the ACC will come out on January 30th. I plan to do a Twitter space on that. Of course, Michael's trolling. Of course he is. January 30th. Like I said, I'm not drinking any Kool-Aid. We'll have to see what happens. Like I said, in the spring, after spring, I'll have a little better idea. But like I said, January 30th, we will have the ACC schedule released. I will do a Twitter space on that live, so you'll have to, so you'll know it, you'll get it real time when we do the space as well. Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. We got we did get one of his players to follow him to Miami. We got a few players that followed Mario from Oregon to Miami. The tight end. We got the tight end from Oregon that Mario got. So that's where we are with that. I don't know what happened. I don't know, Sean, to be very honest. What do you think happens between Cormani and Dion? Too early to say. I have to see Bryce, the 23, 24, 25 classes. I have to take a look at that. And I'll have a better idea for you maybe in a future chat. And I like Wesley. Wes is going to take that step next year. He's going to be the leader of our defense. Him and Cam Kitchens there. I think it's going to happen. Like I've come to learn, do not doubt what John Ruiz says. If he says it's going to get done, it's getting done. So we'll have to wait and see on that. I like the process that's going on. I like the progress there. We'll have to see how that goes. No chance that happens. Way too old for that. Way too old there. To get to basketball. Did you see that game last night, sir, against at Wasco with Syracuse? I mean, Norchet had the big block at the end, sealed the 82-78 win. We trailed by 10 for most of that game. Tight end's going to back to football. Tight end, not sure yet. But I'm hoping Arroyo, if he's healthy, can do that for us. We'll have to see. But yeah, in basketball, last night, 82-78. Oh, we've got wide receivers. We got tight ends. We're fine. I'm not worried about that. One, they'll step up in the spring. One will step up. I'm not even worried. 11 turnovers last night, Bryce. Yeah, I was a little disgusted with that. I need to see that come down. Actually, yes, we do, Michael. Yes, we do. Yeah, we got to cut that down. Especially, I mean, Jacoby George is one. Brashard Smith's another, and they are good, by the way. And Michael Redding the third. Cornerbacks, we'll have to see on cornerbacks, but I think we're pretty good at cornerbacks. We got good cornerbacks there. We'll have to wait and see how that goes. Who are our cornerbacks? You'll have to see come spring. We'll see who steps up in the spring. It's just that simple. Colby Young's another one. Yeah. Got Williams and Skinner. So we'll have to see how that goes there. But like I said, let's wait till spring. Let's find out Let's find out in spring where we are there. But back to basketball. Hey, 11 turnovers. Didn't like the fact that we had to cut that down. Latson's got to step up for me this year in football. He has to do that. But basketball, I want to talk a little basketball now. Michael, we're gonna have to see on that. We'll have to see. But I want to talk a little football basketball. Am I going to games next season? I plan to go to quite a few games. We'll have to see. Hey, I don't want to burn a shirt. DBC going to any games this year? Yes, I am. I plan to go to the A&M game. Plan to go to the Temple game. Clemson possibly, and maybe. No, it is not true. He's not getting me on Dr. Phil. I have not heard that. He has not told me that. If he is, then it's news to me. Ruiz is more than okay. I can vouch for the man. The man knows. The man says he's going to do something. He does it. Okay, if he says it, he does it. It's just that simple. But anyway, we look good this year. The women pulled off some upsets there. Men, they're high expectations. The goal is get to the Final Four. The man's get to the Final Four. I think we can get to the Final Four. I think we can make some noise there. But hey, we've got the depth this year, and we're winning close games. Am I looking forward to Canes baseball? Yes, I am. By the way, opening night, February 17th against Penn State to open the season. The goal this year, the goals get to Omaha. Very sad to hear about the death of Paul Amari a couple weeks back, Gino's dad. I'm gonna try not to be. I'm gonna try not to sound callous here, but Paul Damari was one of the biggest boosters in UM baseball. Are we a national championship team in basketball? That's hard to say. It's hard to say right now. I want to wait. A little while on that. Really ask me that come February 17th. Okay, give me your top 5 players of all time. Hurricanes of all time, I'll give you mine. But anyway, I'd like to see, regarding Gino, people kept, and we've asked this with one of my guys, Paul Mon, who I co-host baseball pre- and post games during the season on Spaces. Is Gino the guy to get you to Omaha? Based on what we've seen so far, the answer has been no. But I think this may be his best team he's had here. Now, the question is, can we take that next step? That's going to be the question. We've gone to regionals 3 of the last 4 years, but to lose at home last year, that's a problem. That has been a big problem for us. The question you have to ask yourself, yes, Gino got an extension. But now, and again, I don't want to sound callous here, with Paul Damari passing away, and yes, he's got to earn that contract extension. Do you now? No, that buffer is not there for Gino anymore. Sad to say. Look, I'm trying not to be callous, but that buffer isn't there for Gino now. Do you now worry about now? Think if you're not in Omaha, say the next year, either this year or next year at most. If 2 years into that extension, we're not in Omaha, do you pull the plug on Gino? Especially if we're not in the super regionals. At least that's got to be the minimum for me for Gino to stay. But you got to take that step. You've always said the goal has always been Omaha. We all know that with baseball. But for me, we got to at least get to the supers. We've been to regionals, but you can't lose at home in the regionals and get eliminated and watch other teams like Ole Miss, who, by the way, won that Coral Gables regional and then went on to win the whole thing last year. We can't have other teams celebrate on our field when they advance to like the regionals or super regionals. That can't happen, guys. That can't happen this year. But yeah, listen, somebody asked the top 5 Canes of all time. Can we win an ACC championship, Bryce? Basically what I've seen, no. To be quite honest, no. That hasn't been the case. That hasn't happened here. I mean, you go 2-0 and you get run ruled last year. That's a problem. That's a problem. I mean, look, the thing with Gino is a very good regular season coach. The problem with Gino DiMare has been in May and June. That's been May and June. That's been the issue. See, my 5 is Jim Kelly. My top 5 Canes of all time: Jim Kelly, 1. I'm going to say Bernie, 2. I'm going to go old school. Ted Hendricks, 3. I'm going to go at 4. I'm going to go a little different here at 4. Warren Sapp, obviously, at number 5. I'm going to go Ray Lewis. There. So my top 5 is Jim Kelly, Bernie Kosar, Ray Lewis, Ted Hendricks, Warren Sapp. I went a little old school with a couple of those picks too, by the way. Now, speaking of Ed, did you see... Now, I don't go to Busch Gardens too often, by the way, Tropic, to be quite honest. I do not do it that often. But anyway, did you see Ed's rant the other day? I don't know how many of you saw it. If whatever Ed said, Ed was dead on the money when he said it. We can do better. Do better. This is what bothers me, not facing Ed. Facing Ed on a Thursday night, 5 days after A&M. I hate facing Ed. It's Bethune. Yes, I know it. Ed's coaching him. Be nice to give him a nice welcome home, and a nice thank you and congratulations. But at the same time, I hate to. At the same time, we have to understand, Michael, business is business. And I think Ed understands that. We're coming to take care of business. I mean, look, and I like Hester. Hester's a great player. There's no get me wrong, one of the best kick returners of all time, not the best. Now, I think Ed has said he didn't sign the contract as of yet, if I'm not mistaken. Or did he sign it already? He might have signed it after that rant. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, listen, wish all Rich Ed the best up in Daytona Beach. And, Yeah, Hester was a great. He was a great one. Remember Super Bowl 41? Turned the opening kick for a touchdown. In fact, it's the only one to ever return the opening kickoff at a Super Bowl for a touchdown. Yes, there's been other kick returners that's returned kicks for a touchdown, like Fulton Walker in Super Bowl 17 and Tim Dwight for the Atlanta Falcons in the loss to Denver in Super Bowl 33 in Miami. But yeah, all right, let's throw this out there. This weekend, who do you guys have this weekend? I'm going to give you my picks for the weekend. First on Saturday, the first game, believe it or not, I'm going to go with Jacksonville. I really think Jacksonville. I think, remember, they lost in KC early in the year. I think there's going to be adjustments, and I think Jacksonville's going to win that game. I think Jacksonville wins in Kansas City. The marquee game that night is Giants at Philly, round 3. That Giant defense has been tough. Philly has a week off, but Philly does not have Lane Johnson, and I'm gonna have to go with Big Blue over the Eagles on Saturday night in Philadelphia. Um, Sunday, it's gonna be one of those games. Bengals at Bills. It's like very emotional game. Look for maybe they're saying Hamlin may be there. That's a game you would think he would show, depending on his health, obviously, on his rehab, how far that's along. But wouldn't it be something if Damar Hamlin were at the game Sunday against Cincinnati? That would just be incredible. It would be an incredible moment. That being said, Buffalo, Josh Allen's turnover prone. Joe Burrow is Joe Cool in big moments. My pick there, I'm going to say Cincinnati knocks off Buffalo, and I'm going to say an AFC Championship game of Jacksonville at Cincinnati. In the NFC, I've got to say, give the pick to San Francisco. Yes, Dallas beat us badly last night, but Dak Prescott, can he win a divisional playoff game on the road? And remember, San Francisco beat Dallas last year in Arlington. But San Francisco's got a much better defense now than what they did last year when they went to Arlington. And they have Christian McCaffrey. And that's the difference there. Yes, Purdy's good, but my pick for that one is going to be San Francisco over the Dallas Cowboys. So my picks for the championship games are going to be Jacksonville versus Cincinnati and Giants versus San Francisco. Bryce, I was thinking about that today. I have to think Tom Brady's done, as much as it pains me to say it. Now, people think, yeah, maybe he'll go to the Jets. So I heard some people mention that as a surprise team. Raiders, maybe. Seattle, no, I just don't see it. I got to think Brady's done. I have to think last night we saw the end of an era with Tom Brady. And oh, by the way, another end of an era, and people not talking about here in Tampa, is the end of an era for Gene Deckerhoff, who probably called his last Bucks game last night. Remember, he retired from FSU last year, and he said he would do one final season with the Bucks, which ended last night. I think it's the end of an era, and I think Gene Deckerhoff's going to retire. An iconic voice here in the Tampa Bay area for a long, long time, and of course at FSU for all those years up there in Tallahassee. He isn't. By the way, he's from Jacksonville. He was a graduate of the University of Florida. Little fun fact there. But yeah, listen, Gene's had a marvelous 34-year run here in Tampa, in the Bay Area with the Buccaneers. Started in 1989, and I'm going to see who's going to replace Gene Deckerhoff next year because that's some big shoes to fill here in the Bay Area. So we'll have to see what happens there. Though Greg Allman tweeted last night that he thinks Gene's going to come back one more year. I find that a little hard to believe, but we'll see. But personally, I think last night was the end of an era, and Gene Deckerhoff's going to retire. That's just the way I look at it. I look at that sort of situation. So those were my NFL picks for the week. So somebody asked me if I like football or baseball better. I definitely, believe it or not, like both sports, but I like the game of baseball. You know why? Because it's, crack of the bat, um, easier to understand. Um, just enjoy the game, a day at the game. Get some popcorn, all that stuff. Football's more cerebral. You got to know what's out there. You got to know the formations. You got to know the different defenses out there. It's not easy. I mean, it's not easy, But for me, it's baseball. I like baseball, but I like both sports in general. But baseball, a little edge for me over football. I definitely want to get a Mark Light milkshake at some point. I've never been to Mark Light Stadium. It's something I'd like to do once. Just to say I've been to a game, and to say yes, I had a milkshake. So I'll have to see we'll have to see. Maybe I take a game in Mark Light this year. We'll have to see. We'll see. We'll see about that. We'll have like I said, we'll see. The Orlando Magic. The Orlando Magic for me. In hockey, of course, you know where the trophies are, the cups. That's the Tampa Bay Lightning. Yes, they're in the Shaq days. Remember the Shaq days here? I mean, Shaq Penny days. The Heat have had more success in the state of Florida than the Magic have. In hockey, of course, we sent the kiddies home last year again. Been to 3 state finals, won 2 out of 3. If we go back to the finals again, it'll be 3 or 4. Ooh, wow, that's a tough one. That's a hard one. That's a hard one for me. I'm going to say those creamsicles are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Bucko Bruce. No, I don't do autographs that often, Tropic, but believe it or not, if I wanted to get one autograph, believe it or not, it would be Mickey Mouse. That's a God's honest truth. Mickey Mouse. So that would be, for me, my favorite. My one autograph I'd want would be Mickey Mouse. And I'm not a guy that asks for autographs too often. I just don't do that. That's not me. But if there's, like I said, if there's one autograph I would want, it's Mickey Mouse. Believe it or not, Mickey Mouse. All right, listen, thank you all for coming on. I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you for coming on the slide. By the way, let me give you one side note before I go. Next Tuesday night, we will do a simulcast of YouTube and Twitter space following the game at FSU. So look for that. So favorite baseball team, the Tampa Bay Rays. So that's to finish that up. So take care, guys. Have a good night. Go Canes, and I'll see you on YouTube next Tuesday night. Space Saturday, we don't know yet. We'll have to see. I should have an announcement on that either Thursday or Friday, but I'll let you know about that. So I will see you all next Tuesday night for sure with a Twitter, YouTube simulcast following the FSU game against FSU. Go Canes. Have a good night.